quarantine hair tips. That is the focus of today's video, mainly because a lot of you guys are finding me because you're home looking for hair tutorials and you're coming across the Salon Guy because you're at home and you're stuck. So you're attempting to cut hair on yourself, for your spouse or your family member or whatever it is. I want to give you some really important tips that I think are essential when it comes to treating your hair on your own, okay? Now, first, ladies, let's talk about hair color, those grays coming in, all right? Now, I've had clients in my career literally that would come every 2.5 weeks to get their color touched up because their hair grew so fast and they were just almost like 80 to 90%, almost 100% pure white, and I was coloring their hair maybe like a light brown. And it was just such a big difference that they didn't want to see root showing. So if you're one of those people out there, then this is going to be a good solution for you. I know a lot of people are saying, especially hairstylists, are saying to wait to get your hair colored. Now, I'm all about waiting to get your hair colored. The thing is when it comes to hair color, there's something called hot roots, which means the heat from your scalp is going to make the process color quicker, and anything from a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch, and anything longer than that means that it's kind of beyond the normal area of coloring you don't get hot roots. Meaning like if your roots are only say a 1/2 inch to 1 inch the most, and you get your hair colored, that's fine. But if your roots are like this long, say 4 or 5 inches, you can't take that color and just put it right in your scalp and expect it to come out perfect like everything else. What happens is the color could come out a little bit brighter, it could come out a little lighter, and it's gonna be noticeable because the heat of your scalp is making this area process quicker as compared to the rest of your natural color until where the previously colored hair was, where your roots stop. So, what's going to happen is when you go in to see your hairstylist, you're just going to walk in, or you're going to make an appointment for color. You're going to walk in and you're going to have roots that are like 5 inches long. You're going to have to pay more money because now the stylist has to mix up a whole other tube of color because there's something called a virgin retouch application, which means that the color has to be applied a 1/2 inch or so away from the scalp, and then brought all the way to that line of demarcation, wait for about 15 minutes, mix up a new batch of color, and then apply it on the scalp. So then what happens is this part is already processing, and now this can catch up because of the heat of the scalp. That's how you're going to get that color balanced. That could take a lot longer than just the average, 1/2 an hour color touch-up that you get booked. It could go with about 45 minutes to even an hour long. And then, like I said, you're going to have to end up paying probably twice as much. So if say your single process color is normally $70, well, guess what? That could end up easily being a $140 to $150 job just because the stylist has to do it properly, remix and do this type of procedure. So I'm just warning you guys, if you do want to color your hair at home, and I'm not endorsed by any companies about when it comes to hair color or anything. There are websites out there that you can go on and you can they ask you a bunch of questions and have a color formulated just for you, and then it's sent to you. I don't want to name any names because I have seen great results, but I've also seen not so great results on some people. But there are websites out there that are at least better than walking into the store and just saying, oh, I'm a medium auburn brown, picking it up, and then your hair is like all messed up. So when it comes to hair color, if you want to color it yourself, by all means, go ahead. Just make sure you're choosing something that is the right color. Make sure it's, you don't go too dark, because once you go too dark, it's a lot harder to lighten your hair as opposed to if you lighten it, it's a lot easier to go a little bit darker, okay? So if you're a medium brown, I would say make sure you get a medium brown or almost even a light brown just to be on the safe side, okay? The lighter you try to go with your color, And if you're not choosing the right tones, you may see some additional warmth in your hair. that you may not want. You put the color on, you go, hey, I wanted a light brown and now my hair looks red. Well, there could be a lot of reasons for that. Maybe, the professional is using something to counteract or neutralize that warm pigment. Maybe like it's an ash color, right? Or some violet. That could help neutralize those warm tones, and that's why the color is coming out perfect. If you are trying to lighten your hair and your hair's like a dark brown and you're trying to become like a light blonde, or I'm sorry, like a dark blonde or a light brown, and you're going 2 or 3, maybe even 3 to 4 shades lighter, you can't just choose a light brown and put it on your head because it's going to become very, very warm. You need that cool pigment to neutralize it. So that's why I'm saying it's okay to attempt it at home. It's better that you cover the grays and give us some sort of option that you're not coming in and having us do an hour to an appointment on you and charging you double. So that's it when it comes to hair color. Just be very, very careful. But there are websites out there that can help, walk you along the process to try to find a very, very close color to what you've been getting. Let's talk about treating your hair. So now may be a good opportunity if you're not going out. You don't need to wash your hair every single day. This goes for men and women. Maybe give your hair a little bit of a break. Now's the time to do some great conditioning treatments. I have a great conditioning treatment called Carbon. It's an activated charcoal hair mask. I've got a regular one for normal hair types, and I've got an intense version for really dry, over-processed hair types, especially if your hair is really thick, unruly, wiry, or damaged. It's an amazing hair mask. It's called Carbon. Shop.TheSalonGuy.com. Do a hair mask. Let the hair mask sit on your head for 20 minutes, right? If you don't have to be anywhere, maybe give a little more love and care to your hair. Try a better quality shampoo. Try something that's going to be just, it's almost like you're treating your hair now as if you were a doctor, right? Going on some sort of prescription. Now it's time to prescribe something for your hair, meaning that so that you don't have to be out every single day and you're blow drying every day or ironing every day. So I think it's a great time to experiment with hair care and getting your hair in good condition. When it comes to hair cutting, using regular like kitchen scissors or like something that like a 5-year-old would use, I really don't suggest doing that. You can go on Amazon. There are shears that are quote unquote professional, I guess, but they're hair cutting shears. I've seen ones as cheap as like $20 to $40. You get them and you just have them around the house. You do want to make sure you're using shears that are designed for hair cutting. Also, you want to make sure you have a thinning shear. This is a thinning shear right here. As you can see, it's got the different teeth. Great for thinning out hair, especially on guys if the hair gets too bulky. Again, I would suggest a regular hair cutting comb, right? I sell these on my website, shop.TheSalonGuy.com. These are the combs that I use. They're a little bit on the longer side, but I like that because it gives me more control. And these are regular shears. These are kind of what hair cutting shears look like. All right, these aren't the cheapest in the world. These are like, $300, $400. I like these, but you don't have to get these, but keep in mind, I'm also a professional. A spray bottle comes in handy. I mean, I did a video on tools that you need. You can go back and watch it. The next thing is for guys, okay? You need to be very, very careful. I'm seeing way too many people using clippers and doing this to their head where they're shaving it this short, and then they have like this huge line around their head and they don't know what to do. Do not do that. The best thing you can do, unless you have done this before, unless you faded your hair, you're familiar with clippers, then go for it. But if you're not, please use 1 to 2 guards higher than what you usually get, because trust me, it's going to help make your hair look cleaner as opposed to giving yourself a bowl around your head and walking around with like looking bald from here down. It's really the worst thing you want to do is to attempt a zero fade on your own, all right? Just leave your hair longer, use a guard or 2 higher than what you usually do. It'll really, really help. And you can do that once a week if you want, just to keep it looking tidy until you can go in to see your stylist or your barber. Just don't go too short. I've been seeing way too many photos and people attempting fades on their own, and it just looks like a disaster. And last but not least, I think that's really about it. I know these are tough times. I've got so many tutorials on cutting bangs. I just did one on how to cut your own layers. I mean, literally subscribe to my channel, browse my channel. I have over 1,500 videos, and I'm sure you're gonna find something that's helpful. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. Please stay safe and stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time for more videos with the Salon Guy.